Hello and welcome to the first ever 45th episode of Whoniverse. Here with me, Jamie. Nope, Lewis and Brian aren't here, unfortunately. Partly my fault, mainly Lewis's fault. Anyway, let's get cracking. Yeah. So, it's another home recording, if you would. Usually, myself, Lewis, and Brian record the show at work. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, no, for once it's not Brian's fault, couldn't all be together. And unfortunately, it has to be recorded on a Monday, because if we record it on a Monday, edit it on a Tuesday, and it's uploaded on Wednesday. So if we were to record on a Tuesday, I just wouldn't have enough time to do all the editing. So here we are. I was actually considering doing a video episode this week, but looking around my office and just it's just a mess full of Doctor Who stuff everywhere. Like, just to name a couple of things, I've got this Whoology that Brian gave me. Got a pile of books. If I were to name a couple of them, we got Autonomy, The Last Dodo, Wooden Heart, Decide Your Destiny, Second Skin. Now that's actually a choose your own adventure book, and we're actually thinking about when we next year, when the show gets renamed the Whoniverse show, we are going to end a couple of our episodes with we'll do a choose your own destiny extravaganza. We got The Dark Smith Legacy, Depths of Despair. I'll be honest, don't know a lot about this book. It's a bit interesting. It's not got your conventional cover. It's just got, I don't understand. Well, it's book 4 of, I don't know how many books are in the series, but essentially I need to get the rest of the books. So, and there's a promotion in here as well to get the rest of the books. So I'll have to keep my eye out on those in the local charity shops. I've also got Doctor Who The Crawling Terror, which is very interesting. We've got Doctor Who The Blood Cell, Cricket Men, which is a more recent release, Only Human, got one of the Target books, Doctor Who and the Cave Monsters. So there's no shortage of Doctor Who books in my office, or the TARDIS, if you would. So yeah, definitely. So anyway, moving on to our first topic of the show. Bearing in mind this is going to be a very short episode, because we won't be covering History this week. I'm going to wait for Brian or Lewis to return next week, so at least we can have a decent discussion about it, because got some comments about one of the episodes. So it looks like we'll be discussing 3 stories next week, which is going to be a record in the podcast. Hopefully a record that will never be broken, because that's a lot to discuss. So, first of all, we're going to go on to our first topic of the show, voting in the TARDIS, searching for best Doctor Who special. So, obviously, as you all know, who won the poll last week, we move on to the following 4 Doctor Who specials. So, we got The Next Doctor, End of Time Part 1, End of Time Part 2, A Christmas Carol. Now, before we go on to who won each poll, Lewis isn't here, so I'll do my best with the accents. We'll read some comments. So we got our first going from at 97 Ian Thomas. So, excuse me. So let's just try and do my own Scottish accent. Ugh, the winner won. Clearly, people have nostalgia glasses on. Yes, the winner always won, because the loser was never going to win, Ian Thomas. But I completely agree with the winner, and we'll come back to that in a bit. We got our next comment from Walsh Caitlin. Get out of here with End of Time. A Christmas Carol has actual Christmas in it, not some garland wrapped around Wilf's bus. Very true. Very, very true. However, the best one is the next Doctor, Caitlin. Get over yourself. Don't forget you can email in and tell us your thoughts at thewhoniverseshow@gmail.com. Just like Harris Turner emailed in saying, "A Christmas Carol is my go-to. Matt Smith is the greatest Doctor of all time. Tom Baker can sock it. Tennant and can take his ego and go shove it. Christmas Carol is so heartwarming." Yes, Harris, you need to calm down. For the listeners, I actually edited out a lot of swears. The email is a lot of profanity. But, it goes without saying. The End of Time Part 2 won with an astronomical 44% of the votes, so nearly half. We got A Christmas Carol in second place with 35% of the votes. We have The Next Doctor, sadly, in third place with 16% of the votes, and unsurprisingly, End of Time Part 1 with 5% of the votes. It almost wasn't worth putting End of Time Part 1 in there, was it? But here we are. So, coming up next, we're looking at, topic of the Who cast, In Search of the Best Special. Still, we move on to the next 4 specials that were released, which is The Doctor, The Widow and the Wardrobe, The Snowmen, The Time of the Doctor, and Last Christmas. Personally, I think the winner is going to be The Doctor, The Widow and the Wardrobe. Personal favourite of mine. Sonic screwdrivers don't work on wood, needless to say. And last Christmas I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. So yeah, that's topic of the Who cast. Who will win? I don't know. It's a shame Luz and Brian aren't here to have a little back-to-back, little banter, back and forth over who they think would win and why. So moving on, like I said, it's going to be a very short episode. We're getting through these topics extremely fast. But this is the bulkiest part of the show. So bear with me, and I'm talking very fast because there's no one to talk to other than myself. So we're on to Nuvian Who's Network. First up, David Tennant has been named Best TV Actor of the past 20 years. Having been most notably, and also why he's getting a mention in this section, is that he was in Doctor Who. He played the 10th Doctor. And I'm pretty certain it's because he was a 10th Doctor because his name was Tennant, but we'll come back to that in the future. He also played Barty Crouch Jr. in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Kilgrave in Jessica Jones, which is one of the most amazing TV shows I have ever seen in my entire life. David Tennant was so sinister, so dark, so scary, and purple. Oh my god, so much purple, but not in a funny way, but in a horrifying way. He also played Detective Inspector Alec Hardy in Broadchurch, which, to be quite honest, is a show I never really got into, but wish I had whilst it was still on, whilst everyone was talking about it. I feel like I missed the boat on that one, but it's a boat I fully intend on getting back on one day. And most recently, which, by the way, I'm going to read a book very soon, Crowley, I don't know how you pronounce that, in Good Omens, a show, it goes without saying, pretty much everything Tennant has been in has either been a hit or very, very well received. Astronomically, absolutely anything David Tennant touches turns to gold. Pretty certain if he came as a guest on his podcast. In fact, he's done his own podcast, and it was a fantastic listen. His interviewing skills are absolutely amazing, and I feel I could learn a lot from him, quite honestly. Everything he touches turns to gold. He is just amazing. He can sing, he can dance, he can do everything in trance. Absolutely amazing. I love him so much. Moving on, every living master actor except Jonathan Pryce, who only played the Master in the spoof, The Curse of a Fatal Death, for comic relief, will be returning for the 50th anniversary of the character. However, sadly, it will not be in the usual guise of a silver screen. No. This will be an audio drama adventure. Big Finish, never being afraid to take risks with Doctor Who characters, will be headlining the Master-centric storyline to be released in 2021. Hopefully, the BBC will see fit to do a TV adaptation and make a bigger deal out of it. For some reason, and this is nothing against Big Finish, I absolutely love Big Finish. Lewis, my good friend Lewis, actually bought me some Big Finish audio dramas. We got the Nemo Night Invasion, The Nightmare of Black Island, and Sting of the Zygons. So, you know, I'll be honest, I haven't actually listened to them, but I heard they're good. I actually haven't heard of a single bad Big Finish story. So, you know, yeah, I do wish, however, we could have a TV adaptation, because finding time to sit down and listen to something rather than watch is surprisingly very difficult, especially because watching something on TV is something you do together. It's like a family thing, but people don't really tend to think towards audio dramas in the same way, which is a shame, but also makes me wish the BBC would invest more in Big Finish, you know, for maybe their stories, the Big Finish stories, some of them are absolutely amazing. We've done a whole series about Martha and what happened to her after the Doctor left her. That's a TV show I'd watch, and I wish they weren't restricted to radio, essentially. It's really difficult to say, but really, I just really wish the BBC would take it more seriously. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Once again, Bradley Walsh has hinted that his stint in Doctor Who may be coming to an end as he discusses a story arc in season 12, which will be very Graham-centric. And he's hinting heavily that he won't be returning to season 13, saying that something happens to him. Now, we go through this every single week on Doctor Who, on the Whoniverse. Thought it was official Doctor Who for a second. And we strongly believe that Graham is actually the Valeyard, who, which is a story that we're actually watching right now. The Valeyard story of Doctor Who. We can't wait to see what happens. We can't wait. Because the Valeyard is the 13th Doctor, apparently. And you know what? We'll come back around to it when we come back around to it. We want to finish watching the Trials of a Time Lord first and see what comes up there. Up next, in the New News Network, finally, the Doctor Who Blu-ray for Doctor Who The Collection Season 26 has been delayed yet again until January 27th, 2020. This was originally going to be released this month and has seen numerous delays which bring into question the future of a collection series of Doctor Who, where the entire tagline is build your own classic collection. And for starters, they're releasing the entire collection out of order, starting with season 12, then release season 10, then releasing season 19, then releasing season 26. It's just back to front. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense one bit. Why would you air them out of order? I want to watch them all. But no, I'll see the end of one regeneration, and maybe in a couple of years you'll give me when that Doctor first started. Like we got season 18 of Tom, of Doctor Who, which is Tom Baker. Where's his regeneration? Where's all the middle stories? You got season 10 of Pertwee. Where is everything? It's not fair. Some are also speculating that the further delay, as it's been delayed to January 27th, 2020, is that it's just been revised to redo the special effects and make it more pretty. Not likely, though. Not likely. In all likelihood, someone's messed up with a printing, like season 12 of Doctor Who, which is why you can't find it anywhere, by the way, because it's sold out and it had such a short print. Because of those errors on the discs, some of them didn't work, blah blah blah. Anyway, more on that news as it comes, and that's pretty much it for the show this week. We got obviously you can email in with questions as we move on to Gallifrey and Gabble. Gabble. Remember, you too can email us at thewhoniverseshow@gmail.com or DM us on Twitter at Whoniverse just like Posh Josh did. And by the way, people keep emailing in and keep making your name rhyme. If your name rhymes, you are more likely to get on the show. So Posh Josh said, first time writing, long time listening, what would you say is the best decade of Doctor Who? Well, let me think. I'd say the best decade, because I want to get all of Matt Smith's series in there, because I'd say Matt Smith's tenure as the Doctor was some of the finest. While I really enjoyed Eccleston's Doctor, Doctor Who's been back on TV since 2005, so yeah, well over 15 years now. Yeah, it's 15 years next year, isn't it? Anyway, let's think. Let's see here. So, while Eccleston's series was good, it's good because Eccleston was such a great Doctor. I wouldn't say the stories were massively captivating. Some of Tennant's Doctor was really good as well, which brings into, the end of time part 1 and part 2. So I'd say, yeah, this decade, 2009, 2019, is the best decade of Doctor Who. We're gonna, you know what, Josh? We're gonna do this question again next week, because I want to hear what Brian's thoughts are, because his experience of Doctor Who covers pretty much the entire 56 years now of Doctor Who. And it'd be interesting to see what his thoughts are on the matter, because he can say absolutely any decade, but honestly, I'd say the 50th decade of Doctor Who is the best. Well, anyway, you've been listening to Whovian Whoniverse. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget you can follow me at Watson's Musings. You can follow the show on Twitter also at Whoniverse Show. Email in at thewhoniverseshow.com. And you've been listening to Whovian Whoniverse. Have a week!